used to handle large ships and containers before having to put them on land first. It is not a use anymore. But in the summer of 1993, they used that as a platform for bungee jumping. Ja, de brukade hoppa från den här kranen en gång i tiden. De pratade också om att öppna en restaurang i toppbalken på den här kranen. Men det är faktiskt 8 meter hög och det finns ingenting i den, den är ihålig. Så det hade kunnat gå. Ja, den restaurangen. Det har inte blivit verklighet dock. Jag tycker det är synd faktiskt. Jag hade älskat att vara på en restaurang som hade varit 84 meter högt och luften. Där vill jag komma. Så är det 100 meter bil. The whole thing was repainted a couple of years ago for 6 million euros. I would have done that. Yeah. Till höger här så finns det någonting som jag gillar att kalla på engelska elevator nobody. Vad menar jag då? Jag tittar på svenska, vad menar jag då? Elevator nobody. Men om man översätter det här, vad blir det då? Hissingen förstås. Hissingen, Sveriges 5:e största ö. Det är också där som Göteborg först grundades 1603. Men sen kom ju våra fina grannar danskarna och breddade ner alltihop i Kalmarkriget 1611. Men 10 år senare byggs staden upp igen, fast på fastlandet den här gången, 1621. Så för bara ett par år sedan så firade Göteborg hela 400 år. Ja, det är stort jubileum för oss. This island on your right is called Hisingen. It is the 5th largest island in Sweden. And that's where Gothenburg was first founded in 1603. But then our wonderful neighbors, the Danes, came along and they burned it all down in the Camel War 1611. 10 years later, they rebuilt the city, but on the mainland this time, in 1621. So just a couple of years ago, Gothenburg turned 400 years old. And straight ahead you see this bridge, Älvsborg Bridge, eller som vi gillar att kalla den här Göteborg, Golden Lamp. 900 meter long, 900 meter long. It was the longest bridge in Sweden when it was built in 1967. But now it has dropped down to 23rd place, I'm afraid. Jag tog ungefär 4 år att bygga den här då. Det går så cirka 150 miljoner kronor. Specific song. It's called The Drunken Sailor, and it's not just because of the captain over there in the front, but in 1745 a very famous East India trading ship with the name Ostindifararen Göteborg, it sank. It's about a kilometer outside of the sea. That's because the pilot, who was supposed to be keeping a lookout for danger, started drinking instead. That wasn't very good. He didn't see the reef and the ship went down. Kasper Mattsson was his name. Kasper Mattsson heter lotsen som arbetade på Ostindifararen Göteborg, det här handelsskeppet. Men han började ju dricka på jobbet, vilket var inte så bra, så han missade att se redan skutan sjönk. Väldigt dålig dag på jobbet, måste jag säga. Kaspar, he was in prison for this, and he spent part of his jail time at Älvsborg Fortress that I will point out for you as soon as we see it. We cannot see it right now because we are waiting for the Stena Line ferry to pass before we can turn here. The Älvsborg Fortress, you're going to be able to see it on this side, to the left of those big blue cranes out there, where he was in prison, Kaspar. Kaspar var ju infängslad som sagt för detta. Han spenderade en del av sin fängelsetid på Älvsborgs fästning. Så ni kommer att se till vänster om de stora blå kranarna väldigt snart, så fort vi vänder oss om här. While we're waiting, I can tell you a little bit about Stena Line. This is Stena Donegan. Stena Line was founded by a man called Sten Allan Olsson. Hence the name, Sten Allan. It says here, let's wave. Yes. Can you imagine? This is what Håkan is going to look like when he grows up. Imagine a splash with that one. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, you can see the fortress now, to the left of those big blue cranes out there. Yes, they're giving us some waves, that's always nice. You're gonna see, straight ahead and coming up on your right, as soon as we turn here, on the beach there, you're gonna see a large red stone. Ni kommer se en stor röd sten på stranden där, rakt fram. Ni ser det faktiskt där borta, men det kommer att komma upp i en högra sida. Do you guys see the stone over there? You're gonna see it on this side very soon. It's a large red stone over there. And you're probably thinking, why on earth is it red? Varför är det röd? Well, I am here to tell you that nobody knows why it's red. But there are theories. One theory is that a Swedish officer was killed there by the Danes, the blood stained out red. Det finns också folk som säger att de målar den där stenen röd för att markera hur långt vi kan beskjuta våra kanonkulor. Vi brukade ha kanoner i staden. Men det var alltså så långt vi kunde skjuta kanonkulor. But still, no one really knows why that stone is red. Instead, they decided to name this entire area on the right in honor of that stone, röda sten, which is red stone in Swedish. Created name, right? Som sagt, ingen vet varför den där stenen är röd. Egentligen, men ändå så har de ju valt att namnge hela det här området med röda sida efter den här stenen, röda sten. Är det några här som har tagit studenten i Göteborg? Ja, och du är en av de som gick ut den här stenen och håller lite olika färger, eller? Det är ganska vanligt att de göra det. Den har lite grön efter. Tills som Göteborgs stad kom tillbaka på den röd. Så det är det. Så vet ni vad jag tror på? Jag tror att den här stenen är typ hälften så stor. Och så är det bara lager, och så till lager. Och så lager på lager, på lager, på lager utan massa väg. Ja, det är ständigt pågått fram till det här då. Så här har man fått röda stenar. This very fancy building on your right, if you look towards the cliffs, you see a large fancy building with towers. That is a sugar refinery. They used to refine sugar to make alcohol, but it's not used anymore. It was established in 1901. But before the sugar refinery, they used to stand a castle there, Älvsborg Castle, from the 1300s to the 1600s. However, that castle came with a problem. It got invaded by the Danes 4 times. And to get it back from the Danes, we had to pay the Danes a lot of money. The total amount in today's monetary value comes up towards 1 trillion of Swedish dollars. We're talking 1 million millions for our own castle. What do we do to this castle once we got it back for the 4th time? We tore it down. George III was king in Sweden at the time. He thought to himself, I can't afford this happening anymore. This is getting ridiculous. So he tore down the castle himself, just to make sure that the Danes would never come back again. The worst investment in Swedish history. And obviously died in the war. The Danes are still here running around in Gothenburg, but you know, det är vad det är. Det är ett gammalt sockerbruk, den där stora fina byggnaden med timmar och timmar. The building next to the sugar refinery, it has the word waterfront on it. It used to be a brewery. It used to make beer in there. Was established in the late 1800s, first by a German, Madonna Laurent. Then it was sold to Scotsman called Carnegie. Hence the name of the beer that was made in the brewery, Carnegie portion. It is not a brewery today. Today that is a hotel owned by no other than Petter Stolen. But they're in Norway. This church on the same side, Saint British Chapel. Det är alltså Sankt Birgittas kapella borta. Idag är det faktiskt Sveriges mest populära ställe att gifta sig på. It's the most popular place to get married in all of Sweden. But if you want to get married there, you have to wait for a long time. There's a 1-year waiting period. Det är 1 år sedan du blir på gifta dig. But Stefan, our new divorce captain over there, he thinks that's good actually. Because then I talked to him tomorrow. He told me once. I thought to myself, well, that's positive. Positive. But what about Håkan? What are we sitting in? Håkan was first bought as a brand new Volvo truck. Det var en Volvo-lastbil från början. Then was shipped over to the States to a guy named John, and John made it into this building. Så det är inget företag som har byggt det här. Det är rustikt kan man bygga. Känns ju väldigt rätt, eller hur? So there are Volvo details in here. The seats, dashboard, the steering wheel, the captain. Ja, det kanske är så Volvo. Det kanske är vad det var. Men hjulen under då? Vad händer med hjulen under? What happens to the wheels underneath? It's a common question again. Vad tror ni händer med hjulen under? Vi går ner vattnet. Du tror att de fälls ihop? You think they fall inside? They do not. I'm afraid. It is not a James Bond car. I'm afraid. Det vore cool if they could do that. Det var coolt om de kunde fälla sig. Nothing. Ingen händer med hjulen. They get very wet instead. Now we're approaching the ramp people. And it's a bit difficult for Stefan. There's a lot of underwater currents. Also goes algae on the ramp, which makes it slippery. So the speed has to be perfect. Han säger att det måste vara perfekt när man åker rampen. If you go too quick, it will slip off the ramp, and if you go too slow, it will just go up a bit and then slide right back into the ocean. But Captain, are we ready to go? Jag känner det ganska då. Kapten? Kapten? Captain? Captain?
Sådär!
What? What the captain just told me is that everything is perfectly fine. So, post me that, Captain. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. Woohoo!
Thank you, thank you.
Well done, Captain. Oh, gotta keep my balance in this one. Now we're slowly rolling back to the Great Theatre. To all the kids, put your seatbelts back on. Alla barnen. Säkerhetsbältena på igen. Nu är vi tillbaka på Stora Teatern. Alright. We are back on land. How's everybody doing? Mår ni bra? You're good? Yes. I have played a lot of music for you today. Well, me and Benjamin has. But it's not gonna stop here. No. Let's see if they know their music. Shall we, Benjamin? I want to know the name of the band and the name of the song. Jag vill veta namnet på bandet och namnet på sången. Nu ska vi se. Jag spelar den första. I play the first one here. This one is pretty easy, I think. Who's this? ABBA. It's ABBA, of course, with... Yes, ABBA, but what's the song? It's Waterloo. Very famous song. They won the Eurovision Song Contest with us in 1974. It was the first win for Sweden, so it was very important to us. 50 years ago. It's kind of their debut as well, with Waterloo for ABBA. Okay, I'm gonna play another one. Let's see if we know this one. I'm going further into the bracket. Yes! It is Roxette with It Must Have Been Love I Heard Over There. That is correct. Yes! I didn't even have time to ask the question and she already knew the answer. It's famous of a certain movie. Yes, and it's of course Pretty Woman. With Roy Robbins and Richard Gere. Very good movie and a very good song. Still in the 90s. I heard Ace of Base, and that is correct. Do you know the song as well? No, it's not all that she wants actually. It's the side. But they are pretty similar, those two. The tempo and everything. So yeah, Ace of Base to the song The Side. Vad har alla de här låtarna gemensamt? Och det är det här med kamen. De är från Sverige, precis. They are from Sweden, all of them are from Sweden. Ace of Base. Started here in Gothenburg. Probably the coolest thing that happened here in the city in the 90s. Alongside of internet or talk or something. They even ended up in Guinness Book of World Records once, Ace of Base. Because they sold so many of their debut albums. So they ended up there. So we have Ace of Base, we have Roxette, ABBA, we have Sara Larsson, In Flames, Europe. Then we also have Avicii. And there's no Avicii here. Our darling Tim. Sadly, Tim passed away a few years ago in his hotel room in Milan. But his most popular song called Wake Me Up. It's got one of the top 10 most played songs on Spotify ever. So it's played more than 1 million times now. For those of you who didn't see the series right before, you can see her now, so I'm very high. Så kommer systrarna igen, och så kan ni ta ut och se henne. På andra sidan så kommer ni se Amerika-bordet. See the American terminal on this side. Mellan 1850-talet och 1920-talet det var cirka 1,5 miljoner svenskar som emigrerade till Amerika. Det var ungefär 20% av den svenska befolkningen som bara försvann till Amerika. En väldigt känd skådespelerska som emigrerade från den här kanalen, det är Greta Garbo. Det var såklart namnet Prospector and Instagram. Now we're rolling along the docks of Stena Line. And I mentioned before, Stena alla Rosa was in the founded city. De har också intresse inom oljeborrning, köttstillverkning, matproduktion, städerna. Det är en av världens största rederier. Men det är någon som har något hum om hur många tyskar som reser från Tyskland till Sverige på Stena Line varje år. Det är väldigt många. Det är nämligen Görman. Det blir så bra. Vill jag kila in. Jag känner för det. år. Kvar ungefär. Pontus och Kåre träffar. Men Stockholms subvention var 220. Så det säger något, eller hur? Säger något. Now, on your left here you see a building in red and white. It's called the lipstick. Jag ser lipstick på den sidan. Jag kommer se lipstick bättre när vi kommer lite längre fram. The lipstick, that building, is a very famous building, and it has even won prizes. It has won prizes for being the ugliest building in Sweden. It's true. Twice, actually. Sveriges fulaste byggnad har lipstiftet fått pris för 2 gånger. Vi är nominerade ungefär 7 gånger. There you can see the lipstick once again. Läppstift ser ni där. Det är också hemmaplan för Göteborgs stift. Vilket är också ganska ironiskt. Det är väl kul att Svenska kyrkan har du bara här i Göteborg, eller? Ja, innan Gustav II Adolf fick vilse i rimmande Lützen på 1600-talet, då bestämde han sig faktiskt för att bygga Göteborg, men det var ingen lätt uppgift han hade framför sig. För marken som staden står på, den består av väldigt blöt lera. Så han hyrde in en massa holländska och tyska ingenjörer, och de grävde diken så att det här vattnet kunde dräneras ut i havet istället. En av de här dikena finns än idag i form av Roselundkanalen. Den åker vi över alldeles strax. Och bara lite försiktiga när jag går runt vattnet i den här kanalen, för i vattnet kan man ibland se sådana här otäcka kantor. Ett varningstecken där. At the end of the 1600s, Gothenburg was one of Europe's best protected cities because it had such high walls. But these walls became outdated in the 1800s. Most of them were torn down. There are only sections that remain today, such as the bastion that you will see on your right very soon. Inside the square, you see this old wall on your right. Carolus Rex is the name of that bastion over there. Carolus Decimus Rex is Latin. Okay, called the 11th. There were several of these bastions, but that survived because they made it into a storage room for gunpowder. Ja, nu till alla barn ombord. Nu vill jag ha er uppmärksamhet. För tittar ni till vänster på andra sidan vattnet ser ni girafferna. To all the kids here, if you look to your left on the other side of the water, you see the giraffes. Vad är det jag pratar om när jag säger girafferna? Vad liknar giraffer där borta? Vad tror ni tjejer? Där borta? Ja, det är ju kranarna jag pratar om förstås. Eller hur? De liknar ju lite som giraffer. Eller it's the cranes I'm talking about. Those are called the Gothenburg giraffes. Because they kind of look like giraffes, right? They are not in use anymore. And they were threatened to be demolished. The companies like Stena Line and Volvo, they bought them. And then they gave it back to the city. So now they are a permanent part of the Gothenburg skyline. De hotades att rivas ner de här kranarna för de inte använder längre. Men företag som Stena Line och Volvo, de köpte upp dem och sen ska de tillbaka till stan. Så nu är de bevarade för våra framtida generationer. Jag tycker det är väldigt trevligt. I mentioned to you before that we bought Håkan as a brand new Volvo truck. But I never told you why we chose Volvo. Well, Volvo is Swedish, many of you already know that. But they also started here in Gothenburg, Volvo. And even though the company now is mainly Chinese, that only goes for the cars actually. The trucks are still Swedish. Håkan är still very Swedish. Jonas Ahlström are you see on this side. Jag ser Jonas Ahlström är här. Vad är han känd för då? Potatis, ja. Alingsås, precis. Han kom från Alingsås. Han lärde svenska men inte potatis, det är därför han är känd. Jonas Ahlström, who stands there, he's famous for teaching the Swedes how to eat potatoes. That's why he's famous. He was active around the 1750s. Another thing that was active around the 1750s is the building over there with the banners. That is the Gothenburg City Museum. The museum opened in 1993. But way before then, that was the office for the East India Trading Company. The yellow building is a German church with a tower there. All the Germans in there are going, why do you guys have a German church? Because of Adolf II, our king, when he wanted to build Gothenburg in the 1600s, he hired a lot of engineers from Holland and Germany. And before they went home, they wanted a church of their own. So there it is. Everything written inside is written in German. Speaking of Gustav Adolf II, you see the man himself over there, and he is pointing into the ground very proudly. And that is what we think he stood like when he said, now here is where the city should be. Gustav den andra Adolf står ju där, och han pekar ner i marken. Och varför han gör det, för att det är så vi tror att han stod. Han sa, här ska staden ligga. Alright, we are soon back at the Great Theatre, people. But before I let you off, I'd like to tell you a little story about this company. Oceanbus, it started in Stockholm at first in 2014. And before we did our official tours, we wanted to practice, of course. So we practiced during the night, so no one would see your failures. But one night when we approached the ramp, there were 3 police cars waiting for us at the ramp. And we were shaking in our boots. Apparently, an old woman had seen us in the water, and she got panicked. So she picked up the phone, called the police, shouting in the phone, there is a bus in the water! They had to go quick, there are people drowning! She was panicking, this lady. So the police department came, the fire department came, the newspaper came along, they took a photo of us, and it ended up on the front page of the newspaper the next morning. Amphibious bus disaster has the headline, could you imagine the drama? The ocean bus in Stockholm, it has the name Estelle, so this is Håkan, this is Estelle. 3 weeks after this incident, we get a booking. A company wants to rent the entire bus for 2 people only, Mr. and Mrs. Sunshine. But when we get there, there's no other than Crown Princess Victoria, her husband Prince Daniel, and their daughter Estelle. Estelle had seen us in the newspaper. She wanted to go on a tour on a bus that was named after her. So that tour was those 3 and about 15 bodyguards. But it went very well. We are back at the Great Theatre. I hope you guys had fun. If you like the tour, write about us on Facebook or TripAdvisor. If you want to leave a tip, you can leave it in the captain's hat. I put it right here in the front. My name is Miriam, this is Benjamin, and this is, and the captain's name is Stefan. But if you did not like the tour, and you're still going to write about us, well, Denise name is Andrew, and my name is Diana.